All right, let's take a look at the local dailies now. We start off with the Daily Nation. Ruto critics face police crackdown. Intimidation as opposition leaders accuse government of strong-arm tactics to silence rebels. A day of chaos in Kitale during a raid by anti-graft agency detectives on the home of Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya adds to rising cases of President Ruto administration's opponents who are feeling the heat of the heavy state machinery, but government has rejected accusations of political witch hunt. George Natembeya, Gideon Moi, Peter Salasya, and the latest, of course, alongside George Natembeya, Rigathi Gachagua. There's stories on pages 4 and 5. Tukiangalia ndani wanasema kwamba the dramatic raid on Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya's home at night, a siege of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's homestead, and the arrest of Mumias East MP Peter Salasya have fueled a perception of weaponization of state agencies to settle political scores. And several critics of President William Ruto's administration have of late become targets of state agencies of allegations of corruption and hate speech. This trend mirrors past similar arrests during President Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure that was seen to target allies of then Deputy President Ruto at the height of their bitter political falling out. Mumias East MP Peter Salasya was released on a 500,000 shillings bond or 200,000 shillings cash bail after he was arraigned at the Milimani Law Courts over hate speech charges. Ruto critics face police crackdown. Other stories here. President Suluhu's task warning on to Kenyan activists, and Tanzania leader says she will not tolerate meddling in her country's affairs following deportation of activists who wanted to attend a court hearing of detained opposition figure. Martha Karua activist though.
Well, she didn't go there okay, she went there on the invitation of the East Africa Law Society. But she was accompanied by a group of activists. You know, even the former Chief Justice, William Mutunga, used to be an activist. I think he's still an activist. Boniface Mwangi nasikia ni kama ako korokoroni kule achiliwa bado.
Strays imempata ajabu. Alert, why your potato meal could contain toxic pesticides. And this story is on page 12. On the top strip, crisis as court blocks MPs vetting for Ruto's IEBC nominees.
Why am I not shocked?
Anasema fate of 25,000. No, that's another story. Haters. The High Court yesterday halted the planned vetting of President William Ruto's nominees for chairperson and member of Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC following a petition citing legal missteps. And the order will remain in force until May 29 when the court will deliver a substantive ruling on the application. Sasa bado hatuna IEBC.
MPs were to start vetting of the IEBC nominees on May 27th. That's next Monday. So now they will not. Yes. Meaning the whole of next week, bado hatuna IEBC. Then a court will declare whatever it declares after that. Then the MPs have to set new dates for vetting. What about if the court says, ni ukweli, haya majina, kuna kasoro? Turudi pale tuanze tena.
Hadi 2027. That story about the teachers and some fate of 25,000 promoted teachers to be decided today. And Education Committee members had made recommendation on factors to consider as TSC reviewed list. That story is also on the front page of the Daily Nation. And that's the Daily Nation.
Right. The Standard, and I think this one is even more brutal. A ruthless president, that's headline on the front page of the Standard. They say crackdown. Prominent critics of President William Ruto's administration faced a turbulent day yesterday as state agencies appear to close in. Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya was grilled by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, while Mumias East MP Peter Salasya appeared in court just days after being attacked by unidentified assailants. Meanwhile, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua sensationally claimed that his life is in danger. Now they've done a 3-page, this is page 4, 5, and 6, just talking about this. Meanwhile, Kalonzo Musyoka said Governor Natembeya is threatened. They have obtained a warrant to go and search his house. The intention is for him to be arrested and for the people of Trans Nzoia to see that, and then they release him just to put him to shame. Kini hizo magari za watu ya DCI. Sijaona gari imetuanishwa hivyo. Ilibomolewa kubomolewa. Subaru inakaa kama Probox.
Yes.
That's the main story there on the front page. The other story, High Court holds vetting of Ruto IEBC picks. Why are they saying Ruto IEBC picks?
Okay.
Joe Biden diagnosed with cancer, and this is a big discussion across the globe. The former president of the United States, the 46th president, confirmed that now he has an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Yeah, which means it's developing very fast. Stadium still incomplete, 755 million shillings later. Milioni 755 na stadium imekataa kuiva.
Ile yenye nafaa ku-host AFCON.
Na unajua August haiko mbali. August haiko mbali. Tulipostpone from February. Sasa, puzzle of stadium that has gobbled up 755 million. Ni ile iconic stadium in the heart of Eldoret, the city of champions. It has gobbled up. Na ukiangalia hiyo inaitwa the 64 stadium, ukiangalia picha ile iko hapa kwa page 46. Hiyo hata milioni moja inaweza saidia. That's the standard.
All right. Taifa Leo, nilitumiwa wauaji. Gachagua wajitokeza wazi na kudai serikali ililenga kumdhuru kwa kemikali mbali na kumsingizia silaha haramu. Kimenuka, makazi ya Rigathi, Nairobi na Nyeri yalizingirwa na polisi mnamo Jumapili, huku serikali ikisema itamkamata na kumtia ndani kwa uchochezi. Alidai kuwa lengo kuu la serikali ni kumdhuru kiafya au hata kumwangamiza.
Ndio hiyo wanasema, walikuwa wanasema they were turning into a cabbage.
Yes. Anasema wanataka report yako in danger na watu wana report kwake ndio wanataka kumuua. Wageuze hiyo cabbage. Drama, polisi wakivamia makazi yanatembea. Picha iko hapo, wanasema polisi waondoa magurudumu yanayoteketea katika barabara ya Kitale Eldoret hapo jana. Wafuasi wa gavana wa Trans Nzoia George Natembeya walizua fujo baada ya tume ya EACC kutangaza kumkamata gavana huyo. Hawa wamesimama na mto wao.
Sema magari manne yaliyokuwa yakitumiwa na maafisa wa tume maadili na kupambana na ufisadi na polisi yaliharibiwa na vijana waliokuwa wakizuia jaribio la maafisa hao kule Kitale. Magari manne na ni mapya tu. Ilikwisha, walirarua gari, wanasema walitarua hiyo gari.
Karatasi. Vidokezo vingine, Salasia huru baada ya kusota seli. Mbunge wa Mumias Mashariki afikishwa kotini kwa uchochezi na kuachiliwa kwa dhamana. Wakuzamiwa wafokea wanasiasa waunga hatua ya serikali kukodisha viwanda 4 vya sukari magharibi. Na Maraga aingia Tanzania, Mutunga afukuzwa. Jaji mkuu wa zamani ahudhuria kesi dhidi ya Lissu, huku Wakenya wengine wakizuiliwa.
Mbona yale kubaliwa lakini? Swali tu.
Kule juu, operesheni msituni Boni kuendelea na afisa wa KDF asema watazidi kukabili magaidi hadi usalama urejee. Masuala ya spoti, nani jogoo Europa League, wanyonge wa ligi kuu ya EPL walenga kujifariji kwa kushinda taji la kuingiza UEFA.
Unajua wanyonge ni wagani? Wanyonge wa ligi kuu ya EPL wanajijua wanyonge hao, lakini wako katika finali ya Europa League because it's Manchester United versus Tottenham. Wanyonge wa ligi
hawako hapa leo. Taifa
hawako leo. People Daily Rigijia anasema Kenyans have not forgotten Kiambaa. Former DP claims state has set up special squad to eliminate him in 3 months. Mpaka anapeana timeline. Kumbe wamepewa, na alisema he has all the information. Asema hata mkipanga nini, niko na watu huko wananiambia vile kunaenda.
Whistleblower. Kila mtu atakuwa disbanded hapo.
Asema hata mkitoa niko na watu wengine huko. Hata call. Na mbona anarudisha mambo ya Kiambaa? Unajua mambo ya Kiambaa? Kiambaa ni ile kanisa ambayo kule Eldoret. A number of people, a lot of people, women and children were burnt inside that at the height of the 2007-2008 post-election violence. And that is one of the things that led to the cases at the ICC. Yes. So sasa inarudishwa. Mbona anasema Kenyans have not forgotten Kiambaa? Ni amesema, mimi sijui kwa nini anasema hivyo. Blowers Court blocks IEBC nominees, and this means we will not have an IEBC anytime soon. That's another story. It's on all the front pages today. This should be a big discussion. Pale juu, keep off Tanzania affairs. Suluhu wants Kenyans as Mutunga deported. Na pale hata Hanifa ako pale. Ule Hussein Khalid, ule ni activist, na Willy Mutunga hapo. So two former chief justices were in Tanzania for this case. What is our interest there? And I'm wondering, ni nini tunafanya Tanzania? Ni nini, mbona tuna hamu ya
mbona tusiende kusikiza Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki?
Well, ile ya Kizza Besigye ni Karua peke yake alienda. Sikuona watu wote.
Wangeenda?
Kaeni
walikuwa wameenda kuprotest though.
Tale of brave man who featured in the BBC expose on Gen Z killings is another story on page 3 of the People Daily. Yes.
The Star suppliers shocker as Ouko team declare 270 billion shillings bills ineligible.
Now you see, this is a part of the pending bills. Watu wanangojea ni kama siku moja serikali itakuja kuwalipa. 270 zimesemekana hazizilipo.
Haiwezi. Anasema hopes shattered as pending bills verification committee chairperson Edward Ouko, Treasury Principal Secretary Chris Kipto, and International Interior PS Raymond Omolo.
Where they made the revelations yesterday there.
Yes.
270 billion shillings ineligible. These have sent some people into poverty kabisa because of pending bills. You do a contract with government, they never pay. Now they declare that you are not to be paid in the first place. Very rough.
Ruto's sugar reforms make or break in Nyanza and Western. That story is on page 6. And Laikipia farming pioneer turning animal bones into organic fertilizer, special feature on page 10 of this newspaper. Today is Tuesday. The Star is not for sale. You can grab this copy of the Star.
It comes with your special pull-out, MyGov pull-out complimentary for government tenders and jobs. Grab yourself a copy of the Star for free. Na utajua serikali inataka nini.
Fresh, independent and different.
Very different. Business Daily, fridges and TVs surpass cars and as bank loan collateral. So wanasema 291,099 pieces of household items have been used to secure loans. Furniture and livestock also heavily used for borrowing. Yani tumefika hapa. Household goods such as television sets and fridges have surpassed motor vehicles as collateral for short-term bank loans, signaling increased economic hardship for families in Kenya's soft economy. This according to the Business Registration Service. It has revealed that number, 291,000 pieces of household items, have been used to secure loans since July 2021, which is more than any other type of movable property. Sasa watu hawatumii magari for loans. Household items, then cars come second, then furniture, livestock, equipment, stock trade, securities, and others. Lakini ya kwanza, TVs na fridge, ndo upate pesa. Kenyan public debt hits record 11.35 trillion on local borrowing. Kenya's total public debt has reached a record. Now unajua tunasemanga debt ndio hii sasa number. 11.35 trillion on the back of increased borrowing from domestic market. The latest treasury data shows that the total public debt outstanding rose from 10.4 trillion in March last year as the government borrowed nearly $1 trillion from local banks, insurance firms, and pension schemes. On the ticker, exports to China dropped 9% on Kwale titanium mine closure, and the NSE stocks gain 121.2 billion shillings. And that's the Business Daily.
All right.
Once again, a reminder of our discussion on State of the Nation. I look at the big headlines. This gentleman, James Gakuya, David Kiplagat, who are MPs for Embakasi North and Soi constituencies respectively, will be in studio alongside Joe